Good morning, welcome to the vlog. Do you know what we were doing this time a year ago? What we were getting ready for?
Thinking that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it felt, it felt reminiscent, like driving in this car. We were getting ready for you to get your snip done.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that.
What were you thinking about?
Just the whole getting familiar with the surroundings around here. Like we're driving around, we're like, oh look, they built that place up really fast.
It just made me think of a car clip, like how you were going to get your
Oh my gosh.
steps done. I don't know that we ever even gave the update that you did finally get the all clear. It was about 7 months in, but you got the all clear and all has been clear since then. So if you're considering whether or not that's a beneficial surgery for your family, it's worked out well.
It's been beneficial.
I mean, somebody please don't have to come back and clip that when I'm accidentally pregnant. I'm not talking about, like, it has been effective and I hope it continues to be effective. I'm just saying it's been a beneficial
I'm looking
change.
for some wood to knock on, but you know, that would have been
fun. But there's been a lot going on lately, and if you're not, we say this all the time, if you're not following us on Instagram and Facebook, you can keep up with us there, and we post a lot more frequent updates there. So just wanted to give you a little update. I had my birthday yesterday. I finally am as old as Cullen again.
Happy birthday, dear Katie.
Happy birthday
to you. Make a wish.
Thanks, guys. We are 39, we're about to be 40, our last year of our 30s. We're gonna live it up. So for my birthday present to myself, I got a new addition to my face.
Oh.
I got my nose pierced. I've been wanting to do it for a little while and kind of kept putting it off and finally did it. So it was really exciting. I can insert a little clip.
Just the receiving tube part from the inside. Deep breath in, let it out slowly. Perfect. It's so good. Keep your just.
Woo!
You're doing so good. Pressure on the inside. Jewelry's in. I'm just gonna get over that little hump. Perfect.
Yeah, that makes a lot of water.
It does, yeah. But you did awesome.
Woo!
That's it.
Oh, it's cute.
Looks really good.
I like it. Not like actually crying, just my nose water. I mean my eye water.
Everybody's eye
Oh my
water,
gosh.
so.
It did hurt, but literally only the part where they were putting, or he was putting the needle through my nose. And then after that, it didn't hurt. And it was just like tender and sore like you would expect. The next day, I woke up and everything was fine again and I cleaned it like I was supposed to. And then like midway through the day, I was like doing a bunch of cleaning and stuff. I noticed that it had a little bit of blood around it and it seemed like it was swollen a little bit. Like, I mean, you're supposed to have swelling, but I felt like the skin, like it was kind of coming a little bit up over the stud. So like, if you notice this one, you know, it's not, there's no skin over it. It's sitting on top of my skin. But so I was Googling it and I was like, okay, is this fine? Like what's happening? And it said you should expect some swelling. Sometimes the stud will like, or the skin will like swell a little bit around it. But you know, if it starts like covering over the top of it, that's obviously not good. Along the next like 24 hours, it started getting more and more like, it looked like it was sinking down in there. And Gaines was like, I can't even see your nose ring anymore.
You literally almost couldn't.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, maybe if we just wait one more day, the swelling will go down and you'll be able to see it again, but then...
Well, that's what I thought, because I was like, I don't want to like panic, because the things, when I was Googling, it was like, don't panic, usually the swelling will go down, so I was taking ibuprofen for swelling. So luckily, I like am friends with the piercer on Instagram, and so I sent him a picture, and I was like, is this normal or whatever? And he said, no, it's not, I'm out of town, let me meet you this afternoon, and I'll fix for you. So it's an easy fix. Like, not a big deal, you just need a little more space. What the deal is totally not his fault. Like, he gave extra space with the stud and the length of the bar that he used, but I had surgery on my nose back in 2005. I had a deviated septum and had that fixed, and while they were in there, they did some like, you know, cosmetic shaping and whatever. When that was done, I had more scar tissue, and so I don't know if it swelled more due to that, but he was like, yeah, it did swell more than the average person, or like what I would have expected based on your nose. So it might have been helpful to tell him that beforehand, but I just didn't really think about it. But so when I went in, he had to, first of all, the hardest time like getting it out. It hurt getting it out. It was like an L-shaped thing. So he was like, it's gonna really hurt getting it past the bend, but it was fine. I was like expecting it to hurt, it's gonna be okay. If you've ever had your ears pierced, and you've taken out an earring to change for the first time, you know that like the back piece of skin, it's really hard to find that hole. Like you can get it in the top, and then a lot of times it'll start to just seal itself up so fast, like
so
within a minute or two. So he was digging around, and it's your nose, so like the skin is totally different than your ear. It's not as squishy, it's harder. He said it feels like you must have some scar tissue there. And then he was like, let me try like a more of a pointed back like thing on another stud. So he tried a different one. He was like, I just hate hurting you. Like he was so nice. He was like, I'm so sorry, I know it's hurting. By this point I was like sweating and starting to feel nauseous, and he was being as careful as he could. My brain wasn't even going, oh my gosh, this hurts so bad I'm gonna throw up. But I guess my body was reacting that way. You know, like if you see blood or something and you're not like actually scared of the blood, but you just have this natural reaction. So anyways, I was like, can I lay down? Because I kind of feel like I'm gonna pass out.
Were you like shaking?
I wasn't shaking,
Like,
but I was
get all shaky, like
but I was like literally sweating, like full body sweat. Like I felt my shirt sticking to me sweat. It was a little warm in there because like the shop was actually closed. He came in and like opened it up to help me out. So I laid down, and then he was like, you know, I think the easiest thing is just gonna be to like get the piercing needle again and just do it as if it's another piercing. He was like, I'm not gonna like make a whole new piercing hole. He's gonna go through the regular hole that was already there. So that was actually way easier, and it's not like he re-pierced it necessarily. It was just like being able to get through that back end. So anyways, he put a new one in that is now staying where it's supposed to be, but it's like got a flat back instead of being an L-shaped thing, and it has significantly more room. Like I would push it up and show you, but I don't wanna, you know.
And it's a little bigger, like the stud itself?
Yeah, the stud itself is a little bit bigger so that it can't like sink down in there. But anyways, that was my experience. Like I said, not his fault. Like my nose reacted differently than would have been expected. So I was just afraid that he was gonna be like, well, we're just gonna have to let it heal up and then pierce it again in a few months. And I was like, no, I'm so excited to get it done. So anyways, this is my
I've
story.
heard the nose is one of the pretty painful ones. If y'all have piercings, leave it in the comments. What was the most painful piercing? I've had my tongue pierced, but I was so young at the time, like, you know, 18.
Yeah.
19. My pain tolerance has probably changed over the years. What about Prince?
Oh my gosh, we can't film that when you get that done.
When I get that done.
Just
Well,
kidding. You're next. What are you gonna get done?
I'll redo my tongue if anything, but then I'm like,
Do it.
well, do I really need that? I don't know.
It's fun.
We should give them an update on Allie real quick, but maybe we should eat lunch first.
Yeah,
and then come
okay.
back with Allie update.
We're actually running to get some taxes and stuff done, business, adult things. So we're gonna do that, eat some lunch, and then I'll give you all the Allie update. Well, that tax meeting wore us out. There's some years as a self-employed person where you're like, whoa, we did good on like everything, keeping up straight. We don't owe a lot of money. And there's some years where you're like, dang, we gotta pay the government. This is now the next morning because our brains were fried. We came home and Cullen cooked the amazing lunch that we had. Thanks so much to Green Chef for sponsoring today's video. We always love working with them. If you're not familiar with Green Chef is a meal kit delivery service, and it is a CCOF certified organic company. I love Green Chef's meal kits because they have options for all different lifestyles: keto, paleo, vegan, gluten-free, vegetarian, Mediterranean, and then the one we tried this time is called Fast and Fit. So you can change up your meal plan whenever you want. Any week you want to try something different. Maybe you decide you want to just be vegetarian for the week. Get you a vegetarian meal kit. But the one we got this week is Fast and Fit, which is awesome because it is quick to cook.
I'll balance your meal.
Yeah, you will. With Green Chef, the recipes are always done in a way that makes the cooking easy. There's step-by-step instructions, there's pictures. It's actually made Cullen really enjoy cooking more, which I thoroughly appreciate because that means he will cook stuff and I don't always have to. Sometimes when he tries to get fancy with recipes, we end up with like, you know, all kinds of random leftover ingredients that we bought a whole package of. But with Green Chef, you get exact proportions for what you need for each meal, so you don't end up with a bunch of random stuff left over afterwards that you're never gonna use. I know for us, T-ball season is getting started. Brooks is having practices late at night. Spring gets crazy as it gets closer to the end of the school year, and so life and schedules get crazy. This is a perfect solution if you're running around going, what in the heck, how am I supposed to figure out what we're gonna cook for dinner, get to the grocery store, get it unloaded, get it cooked, and get it done so that these kids and our family can eat. Well, here you go. Order your Green Chef. It will come straight to your door. You don't have to go to the grocery store. You don't have to think about the recipes. However, you can choose which ones you want, and they have some awesome options every week. We have had our own personal Green Chef plan for, it's probably been almost 2 years now. I know it's been over a year. I don't know exactly how long, but it's been amazing. We've loved it. We would love for y'all to check it out too. We love when we have awesome discount codes for y'all, and we have a really good one today. You can use our code CullenandKatie130 to get $130 off plus free shipping on your first box.
What?
I swear, every time we work with them, they increase the discount. I think this is seriously the biggest discount we've had, right?
On top of the sauces that they get, I always go back to the sauces.
That on top of the sauces, that's
you can't get anything better than that.
It just changes the flavor for every meal. I never get tired of it because it's always something different, but it's always freaking delicious. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. But now we are dealing with the consequences of our actions from last night. And unloading this dishwasher. But the update on Alley Cat that I promised, like I said, if you follow us on Instagram, I posted an update on there a couple weeks ago talking about how I give her medicine. She is still taking the blood thinner, and then she's taking a heart medication, and she's taking an antibiotic still because she still does have an open wound on her foot. It's healing up a lot. So previously I was having to soak it every single day to like clean it.
Here's the little pill pusher that Katie uses. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Okay, so basically you put the pill inside this little thing and it goes down in there, and then when you go to give it to her, you do that and it pops the pill right out the top into her mouth, and you have to basically put it way far back down in there. It's one of those things where I'm like, how are we ever gonna leave the house for longer than like a day or two at a time, because she usually doesn't like other people to hold her. So I've been doing that, but as far as her foot goes, if you're not familiar, she had a blood clot in her leg, she had a saddle thrombus, fetal aortic thromboembolism. Basically, there's a blood clot that cut off blood flow to one of her legs. And so her foot at the bottom of that, her paw, was affected, and the process basically along the way is that the part that lost circulation for a long period of time was not like living tissue anymore. So over time it gradually detached, I guess you would say, and kind of died. We went back and forth on whether we were going to need to amputate her whole leg or her whole half of a leg or whatever, but the paw pads and her toes, like the underside of her foot, ended up making their way off. It was not painful for her as far as I know. I mean, there were times when it would bother her. I think what bothered her the most is the tape on the bandage pulling her fur. Yeah. And then now we're to the point where there's just like a little tiny bit like this big that is still trying to heal.
It's like healthy scab. It's not like brown, black,
yeah,
nasty.
It's so much better.
Yeah, it's awesome. And especially for like expecting that she wasn't even gonna make it through Christmas.
Yeah,
so here we are in March.
She's like miracle like, cat. Ah! The biggest concern is that a cat who has experienced one of those is highly likely to have another one within the next, what'd they say, 70 to 223 days. So we're out 3 months out. So we're hoping that she doesn't. The blood thinner that she's on should help with that. So we'll see. But other than that, I mean, she gets around just fine, like walking on her little nub of a leg. I keep a sock on it because there is still that little open part, and it just keeps it from, one day she lost her sock and was walking around and got like cat litter and nasty stuff stuck to it. We're super thankful. Yeah. It's crazy. We thought we were not gonna have her here right now, and we do. So super thankful for that. So that's the Alley Cat update. I'm about to like try to tackle organizing this cabinet because we have so many random places that have gotten out of control lately.
We've got a junk drawer and a junk cabinet.
And a junk pantry and all the places.
Oh, and a dog that just pooped. All right, that'll do it.
Thank y'all for watching. We will see you at TFS. Capture on the flip side.